Google side, it would be YouTube ads. That's probably the area that I'm most excited about, because there's a lot of opportunity for scale with YouTube. YouTube, there's over 1 billion active users on YouTube, and lots and lots of people are there, but it's not easy, right? Creating a good video ad that sells is not easy. You also have to invest quite a bit of money in testing to see what works. So where Google Shopping, you can usually get running pretty quickly, and you're only going to pay if you get a click, and a lot of those people are going to buy because it's kind of lower in the funnel. YouTube is usually the opposite. It's higher in the funnel. There's a lot more people to target. It can be wildly profitable, but it can also be really, really expensive, and it's complex.
YouTube, obviously a big one as well. That's a big platform that you can use to advertise.
I have tried YouTube ads before, but I'll be completely honest with you. I haven't used YouTube ads properly. The only thing that I actually tried was I used my existing videos and I just put them on the specific keywords that I know people are going to search for that are relative to the specific YouTube video that I've created. And actually that was pretty successful. I had a lot of people clicking through on most of my links, and it seemed to work. All I needed to do was just go in and optimize how much bidding I'm doing, the cost per click, etc. But I didn't do that on a weekly basis at the time, and it was kind of me throwing darts at anything rather than the dartboard. So had I had probably put some more effort into that on a weekly basis, like I do with my Amazon account, my PPC on there, I think it would be much more successful now. And now Google has also, Google for YouTube has also introduced retargeting, so you can actually start to see when people have landed on your YouTube page, and I think you're actually able to retarget them now. I haven't used it myself, but I've seen the options. I've gone in and had a little bit of a mess around, and I think the option is there, just like when you do Facebook. I think when people put Facebook pixels, I think Google's actually able to do that now with YouTube videos, so that's kind of got to be useful to a lot of people out there. And I think if anybody is doing YouTube ads, I think it's really important, if you want to be at the start of somebody else's video, I think it's really important that you keep that high engagement video where within 3 seconds you have to somehow keep their attention. Was it 5 seconds? 5 seconds. You have to somehow keep their attention before they skip your video ad.
The other thing I use heavily is YouTube, because YouTube, you can do a lot of really good targeting on YouTube, where you can get on, like the example of someone that's got pimples or got a zit problem. If I'm selling a product that helps solve that, I can go, rather than I have to create all these videos, I can go and kind of piggyback on a lot of other people who have created audiences, and I can leverage their audience and their trust either by contacting them saying, hey, have you seen my product? You want to try it out and use it in a video? Or I can run ads on the front of their video without their permission, basically. And that's a very targeted audience.
I think with YouTube, like the retargeting works a lot better for smaller budgets. If you want to use YouTube like in a top of funnel sort of arrangement, I think you have to be prepared to spend tens of thousands of dollars in order to get it to work. There's a lot of experimentation involved with YouTube videos.
I would recommend running YouTube ads. Now, in general, when you're doing video, it's very hard to get that boost of traffic right away. So you may have noticed a lot of channels that start on YouTube, they get like 20 views on each video. After 20 videos, they're done and they decided not to gonna work. And these days, it's pretty hard to rank on YouTube, and gain that subscriber audience. Now, instead of doing YouTube as a channel strategy, I guess, well, first of all, let me say that Facebook video is easier to rank. So if you have a page that is public for your brand, let's say you sell dresses, and keep publishing videos of girls, showing the dresses and discussing, oh, I like this one because it covers like this, not like a too open, and something like that she's discussing. And it's interesting to watch, right? So if you're using Facebook video, after they watch one, Facebook automatically, like, you just keep scrolling, right? And it recommends the next one, next one, next one. And people these days are on their phone, and, and there's on the phone nothing better to do than just this Facebook feed, So if you have videos and they watched one there's this watch feed on Facebook that they keep recommending other videos of yours. They'll watch all of your 100 videos and you get so many views from that. They'll share, they'll like, because it's so easy to share and like on that, you know. On YouTube, you actually have to commit to subscribing. It's very, very painstaking, you know. So Facebook video is easier, so if you decide to do video. But on YouTube, I would recommend to run YouTube ads. And many people think that when you run YouTube ads, is enough to just pick the channels that are sort of what you need. Like, let's say if I'm selling dresses, I would pick fashion channels and then check which of these channels have ads enabled and then run your ad in the beginning before their video starts. This not always works because there's many competitors who do the same way of targeting, and it's like very limited number. If you find 1,000 channels that fit your audience, probably only 100 of them will be big enough and already approved for ads, and then there's 100 channels that you're fighting for, you know. It's very, very hard like that. Or if you're using keywords, you know, let's say you put in keyword long sleeve dress, but the keywords are also on YouTube very, very hard to work with. So my recommendation is when you're running YouTube ads to use custom audience. You can create a custom audience affinity. That's a special way of targeting people who have visited certain websites. Let's say you can define your own audience of people. So you say anybody in the world who is a woman and who is over 45 years old and who has visited this and this and this and this website. You can define your audience like that. So who has interest in, I don't know, some specific, long sleeve dresses websites. You list all of those. And then on YouTube, when you run your ads, it's not going to care what video is playing. Before that video, they will show your video, you know. So then you're going to present them, oh, so this is a cute dress. I was thinking to buy it, blah, 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 something like that, right? And it will be relevant to them because they have visited those other websites. And you can really, really nicely get huge audience to watch your videos like that instead of having to work for hours to find those channels and target them, and then most of them will not even have ads enabled. You know, so it's nice to create those affinities. And let's say another example, I keep using dresses example, but let's use a gadget example of some kind. I don't know, like a clock, for example, desk clock, you know, those little clocks you put on the desk. So desk clock, right? And then you would basically have a little bit wider audience, so you'll have to think who is the buyer. How do you know who's the buyer of desk clock? You don't know, you know, it can be any man, any woman, any retiree, so how are you gonna even decide the channels? But when you use affinity, you're gonna say, so anybody who has visited this clock, anybody who has visited the clock, desk clock website.com and then another something.com that has related, so that means they're interested in this type of thing. And then if you present it to them, they'll say, oh cool, I have a 7 desk clock, but this one is awesome also, you know. So totally you can find such good audiences from that, and you don't even have to think who is your buyer. You just target other people's audiences, other websites' audiences. This is a great way to do YouTube ads like that.
YouTube video ads.
Everybody's known about this for years. Nobody does it. The YouTube pre-roll. So you can create, an 80-second, whatever. You could create a video. You could put it on YouTube, and it's the pre-roll to your competitor. So if I have somebody that's Paulina that's doing something for dog, I can throw my ad up prior to watching their videos. So I can just go out and look for my competitors and put pre-roll ads up, and you don't get charged for them unless somebody clicks on the ad before 30 seconds. So if they're not, just before like that 30 seconds, they click off, and the majority of the people will, you're not paying for anything. So it becomes a very inexpensive way to drive traffic.
And YouTube as well is, really, really an interesting platform if you want to share your products and you want to share the behind the scenes and you want to grow a loyal following and, talk to them about how your products can solve problems. YouTube is a great resource for that.
Video, YouTube, Vimeo, all those video platforms you can promote it on YouTube. And what's interesting is that you don't have to pay for any YouTube promotions, because there's like this thing that you can have before every YouTube video starts. You have, I think, up to 5 seconds of free video space. So if you use like a couple of seconds as a promotional before some other video starts, you can get your promotion here for free. So this is how you can promote your e-commerce business, like that way.